All right, another game. Black opponent goes c4. Oh, let's go fully. Well, start at least symmetrically. This can often, well, sometimes go a long time in like just mirroring your opponent's movement. So this would not be a bad move. I don't think there's anything wrong with any of these moves to begin with. I'll start with the g6 because I think I'm gonna put the bishop there like they do. And then we'll see how it goes. Knight c3. Well, this would not be a bad move now for sure. So tempted to do this. Either I'm gonna copy their movement, which might lead to that I'm always that one step behind. So thinking about like maybe we should go for them kind of like a pot winning setup. Knight goes here and we set this up, but this is probably alright in that one too. I'd just like him to, for instance, commit to something with the pawns first before I set things up there. So at least he plays, for instance, d3, and then it at least takes 2 moves to go if he wants to. If I set this up like some kind of a breakthrough there. Well, d6 just to free the bishop. Still possible to go here. This is definitely a possibility. Well, no, it's not a possibility anymore, right? We are keeping this open, so that's not possible. Until I do knight f6. But now I feel like I have to actually commit to something. So either e5 and put the knight here. B, we could try to wait something with this guy here, but there's also this way. We could always try to sneak the knight out. I do similar things on the white side of the English often, which would keep the bishop open and keep the d4 still less likely to happen. Actually, would this actually allow the d4 because the knight would be hit here. So d4 takes, bishop takes, queen takes. Of course, we could throw in that after bishop takes some kind of an in-betweener with check and then take here. And I think I can shut down that in some way. This, of course, has the downside that they can, of course, play at some point a move that stops this. But it's a bit of a commitment from white to play e4. Because they put the knight here and it's not so good in that setup. I mean, I cannot give up on this pot winning setup a little too easily. I got distracted by the prospects of this. But it's fine, I guess. Castles. I mean, this is still possible. I mean, they could play e3, d4. We could go here and make it even less likely to happen. And after that, d4 is of course horrible when I sink my knight there. Another plan is that they could just play e3 and keep it there, and then the knight is there, but it's not going there. But maybe it's fine here because it always can maybe retreat back here. And if I was gonna say if there, I can go there, but that's not true. So it has to be a little careful here. If they do a e3, which they don't have to do yet, they could do something else first. They could set up this way. They could try to put the bishop here. I wonder if, well, probably not. feels a bit suspicious giving up this guy here for just to double that. Seems like an important piece in my position. Unhinged bishop here, and it's also like the most important defender. Whatever white chooses, they have also some problems. And as long as this is not option, I mean, technically it might be for sure. Actually, there, yeah. Like I said, that line. We might snipe a pawn there, then take back and hope it's all fine. What else? What else? Well, good part is that they are thinking. It's not an easy, apparently not an easy moment for them. This also is nice, like in a somehow rare moment in whenever I play it on the white side or on black side, it makes my opponents think. Because this of course is supernatural. But the downside is that it blocks the bishop, and this is somebody you wanna kind of keep open. Because keeping it open makes a lot of things awkward for white. Like, alright, so they decide that they can do that. Maybe their point is that they're gonna chop here one move earlier. It is probably legal, right? Well, I have to take it though. And I guess they are gonna take here now. Or maybe it's gonna be a sack. Sack. And they go for, let me take here, and they claim some kind of compensation, but I assume we're gonna go here, and then there. And then this is definitely hanging. I'm not sure I want to take and bring the queen here while my bishop is here. If this comes awkward, I can't return. So I might... Well, I have to take it back. There's no way I can take here. Well, there's just only one continuation here. So, if I play a natural move like here, because this is definitely a threat here. Bing, bang, bong. I mean, it's not a horrible pawn sack, I feel. If we castle, chop, there. Like they take out, take f6, f3 takes. Actually, f3 I could give a check there. King goes there. I'll take queen takes. We could definitely have comp there. Like maybe the bishop comes here or somebody. It will not be horrible. But maybe unnecessary. But it would be speedy and kind of solve the problem of if I go here and they'll take, and I don't know which way I take here, but the point is that here, how do you deal with it? I guess I can just castle if he goes there. So let's just be normal and do this. No need to go full stupid. We have the bishop pair now. I mean, I am a little bit prepared to give it up if they take here, because I'm always tempted to get rid of this guy here. I feel like we're doing pretty well there, question mark. Alright, so that defends this guy here, sure. Not sure what else. I'm definitely gonna castle, I think. 100%. Then, I don't know, rook comes here, or we could think about this, but now he can take back with the pawn, and it's not so bad. At least he has like the pawn duo here. He can reinforce with b3. We can put some pressure here, for sure. I mean, this is also some kind of a threat, but bang. Knight here, bang there. Alright, so this definitely weakens this entire diagonal. So I think I'm returning here, especially with the pawn here. Even though we could maybe snipe the rook here, in hopes that they'll accidentally put the rook c1. Which might be a natural move to make if you're not really thinking about that, or like a drop a natural move there. Then I can take here and you can't take with the pawn anymore. So we'd force this, which I feel like is some kind of a concession, not huge or even can be argued at all, but only thing I'm thinking about is that is there any reason I would like to have the rook here? Like some kind of a5, a4. Seems hard to push through. So it defends here. Also, it's kind of getting out of here, so it does not do anything about the b7 though. So this knight is still, if he ever takes, we have to deal with this. But it is defends this second time, so we could play b6. Not sure if this makes any sense though, but it is legal. Probably a move. But again, is that threatening anything? Question mark. I mean, it's a knight in a semi-aggressive spot, which I don't think I want to kick because of the weakness on d6 afterwards. I don't know if I want to, if they play here, do I want to take and kind of pin the knight? Maybe. But yeah, this is definitely, well, it's gonna stay there for a second, hoping that they play there. But it is planning of returning there. I don't know, maybe we could put more pressure here and force him to do an decision there. He could go here, reinforce. All right, he did that. Well, now we're okay. I do understand that this idiot here is hanging after queen takes. So it's not like I can take and go here instantly. But I do want to take now though. And claim that this is definitely not a sack doing. I don't think it's doable though. For black white, like just return and get two pawn pieces for a rook. So a6. Queen a5, then here. I think a6. a6 weakens b6 a little bit, so there could be some there. Something little there. I just realized that I have two things hanging here. Well, do I have to play a sticky move like b6? Okay, this was not as ideal as I thought. I'm really stupid, it seems. Well, I don't know how we can justify this, but we can always find some kind of reasoning that it is fine. Not planned at all. Yeah. Sometimes I forget things like if you take somewhere, you open something. I thought this is one thing, but it was two things. If this goes here and says question, would be really sad if I have to take it, but maybe. Of course, we could play a6 and kick it away, but then we have to... No, not true. This would be defended, so guess that is legal. Except this knight a7 a problem. So I can't go here without dropping this, and then it comes quite questionable. I guess if here we could throw in some kind of a bishop move here first, kick this guy off there, and then come here and hope we are doing good. How long ago did he move that? I have no sounds on, so I don't hear the sound. Yes, I have to put on the earbud to actually listen. Might come relevant in time trouble. So, I don't understand this moving at all. I mean, make some room for the king for the future question mark. But you're also putting a pawn in the sides here. And then, well, guess some king h2. So I'm looking at this drop here or this. I don't know, I think I wanna drop the bishop here first and see where the queen goes. It did not do much here anymore. Not looking forward to taking this guy at all. But are we interested about offering a trade agreement? Are you interested in the trade agreement with England? Shut up, Elizabeth. Probably, maybe, right there. Trying to bait me to play d6. Again, nothing. Because again, weak. Well, it's not I mean, it technically looks a little bit open, but it's not very open position. Is this some of them semi-opens? There's no pawns that are interlocking or closing the center at all, so bishops are kind of bearing down all over the board. But somehow it, well, I don't think you can classify this as a closed position at all. Like even it's a real stretch. But somehow the bishops don't really seem too influential here either. I mean, guess it would be legal to chop there first, then go for a trade, but yeah, this limited my queen so much. I would have much preferred to be able to move around. Not sure I could have done this, for instance, because you have to be careful. No, it's a pin. It would be a pain. I don't know, maybe we could have tried something there, but at least I find it very hard to play with the bishops in this position. I think I prefer their knight to either one of my bishops, to be honest. because, well, the main reason is that my bishops lack targets at the moment. Like, this is here and it's looking a pawn, but so what? This is bearing down on absolutely nothing. Still feels wrong to take the knight, but maybe it would have been right. Who knows? But the knight seems good because it can go here. Again, I can take, fine. But then, like, I kick it away, then it's gonna reroute somewhere else and find a target, whereas this is just sitting there on a freaking empty diagonal and be a complete dirt. Hopefully not forever. Yeah, like, I'm not gonna, I mean, maybe I could do it. Maybe we could do it, but yeah, have to be super careful that nothing horrible happens here, but of course they also have some limits that there's just one semi-open file for them, which is blanked at the moment. Now they're saying that play d6, please play it. And I have to say, I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so, buddy. Oh, I did. Oh, oh, yeah. I attacked this. They didn't defend because they did not have to. And if I go here, I'm not threatening it anymore, and other problems. Problem even goes there. If I push here, so I can't even take the knight. Oh boys, oh boys, oh boys. So here and I don't know, try to push there. Here to threaten to take here, question mark. It's such a empty move. Like I play here, king goes there, and then what? Whoop-de-doo-doo. Guess I could go here and no, I guess yes, also that. And also it's not that obvious that trading that knight would gain us anything. I don't know, I'll go here and say maybe we could play b5 question mark. And the pin, it's not a thing, but maybe in the future it could be. It's a scary thing. It's a scary thing. Guess I could play e6 and drop the bishop back here somehow. Hard to say, hard to say. Yowza. Alright, so they're really making it hard for me to ever even contemplate going forward. On the other hand, it gives me one square more question mark. Seems pretty irrelevant, but like maybe someday could we get this in. I mean, I don't know. I can't live with the knight there, to be honest, and do anything. Such a pain in my life. It's 5 here. Try to go there. Oh, boys. If I go e6 and here, he's just gonna push there, and then I have to do something about it. I have to do something about it. I mean, it's probably not the end of the days kind of a situation, but I really don't want to do it. I really, really, really don't want to do e6, but how can I live with this? Oh, yeah. Also, it's completely failing on the tactical levels, right? Because knight goes here and I have to move the rook and I just drop the d6. Well, that sucks a bit. I can't go here first and do this because, oopsie. So I don't know, I'll go here then, question mark, undefend the pawn, but then attackify my rook, technical term, and attackify. So at least this is not here. It still looks like a stinky plan, but it's the plan I have. And then I'll try to use the battery of some sorts somewhere, hopefully, depending where this guy goes. Like if he goes there and there, I'd like to pin it. Oh, of course not after this, because then we drop the pawn now. Well, I don't know. They can't at least go here and kick me around. They could, of course, move the knight. But that's probably not gonna be ideal, because I did not weaken my pawn. I did not weaken my pawn. Okay, this is also legal now too. Oh, it's not. It is not. Still the problem, so some chop, 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 chop. I mean here. Of course I can't take with the queen because there. But yeah, basically then 97 wins all lines. Alrighty. Well, should we or should we not? Let's be stupid, right? Because life is about being stupid. And then I'll follow up with something or go here. But maybe. Or maybe even there, but I probably then there. And like if he goes there and there, I don't think I can sack the d6 for the something there, like there, b5 and a pin. It could be something though. It could be something. It's a misery. Here we could just snipe it off. Here it's a square, but it's maybe not doing much, question mark. And this, I don't actually like this move at all, because it exposes the white king. So after something like there, if they try something to do it here, I could just give a check here. So question number 1 here is that can we actually snipe and play d5? I suppose he's gonna play here and say, oh man, that's a big pin there. So here, d5. Rook comes here and says no. We could of course drop here like I said. And then this comes relevant if he tries this to give him that check go. Okay, I'll do it. He can go here, he can go here. But then I can probably throw in this one. The knight is a bit exposed here. Of course here I can't play there, but then I have to drop the rook back somewhere, but probably here. Yeah, I did not like that move at all from white. Because I feel like here the best move would probably be like king g1, just to be not in a checking square. Unless he wanted to play some f4 and get out of the diagonal somehow, but seems unlikely. I mean, who knows? Could be a thing here at some point. Well, I guess we are not really here anymore. Wait, what did I say about d5? No, I talked about taking there first, yeah. d5 first, chop, chop. I guess it takes 10 there, yeah. Alright, so he's I don't know what. Getting the rooks in the front, question mark. Also has that ability there. Does in undefend the rook here. So technically something like this could work, or even this could work. Maybe not b5 though, but I'm thinking I would move queen away from the d file. Where though? Because here we are kind of limiting the rook here. So it might be unhappy about that. Could go here and pin them. Pin the e pawn. I assume they go there. Okay, let's do it. This is technically probably possible, but then this is also probably possible reply. Because that's always hanging in the lines. Alrighty, this is now also technically possible. Now either way takes, right? Doesn't even have this here. So if takes with the pawn, I'll take with the rook and he captures, I take here. Am I missing something crazy good here? Pawn takes, rook takes, knight takes, rook takes, rook. Maybe he can take there in the end though. Yeah, possible. How about pawn? Oh shoot. Okay, I'll just go because I'm running out of time. But if pawn takes, can I go on this side? Hitting that third time, forcing something, defending it. And then we could maybe even chop, take here in the end. Like everybody takes there, queen takes, assuming like this queen goes somewhere to defend it. I'll take, well, eventually takes and I'll take, and assume we are fine there. They have a kind of like a 3 versus 1 on this side. I have a central passed pawn. So queen trade is probably a bit dodgy side, but who actually knows? Might be a draw too. Chop. King runs somewhere to stop these, and they can't do much about getting his king too active because I have a central pawn. They have to also contain. I don't know, but I assume so. Of course, 3 versus 1 is dangerous. Very freaking dangerous. Alright, they just did that. That is fine by me. I'll take. And say, what you gonna do? Try to find a square. I guess I kind of did not find a square though. Did I? I guess I did not really find a square. So I cannot take here because of the thing. Not so good. Damn it. Not so good. That was so stupid. I'm running out of time, so It's trying to calculate something there, but I think queen f3 after rook takes here is an annoying pin when my queen and the rook are hanging. Well, this is still attacked twice, and it's defended 0 times, so that's a bit of a problem. This we are covering twice. They can attack it, of course, third time, but there's gonna be okay. Go away. That's of course kind of probably falls him into a better square anyways, but let's just move fast. I have to gain some time. Battery reloaded. Now we also suddenly have 48 seconds, so not gonna flag instantly. Not threatening that yet. Not threatening that yet. Okay, that's a bit controversial, putting it into a maybe exposed square. But who knows? Actually, that's kind of looks good, to be honest. I mean, I can still take... I was a little worried that he can maybe a4, knight there, but now I can maybe snipe it off and before it lands there. Before it lands there. All right. All right. That seems like a move. Oh, shoot. Okay. Not ideal. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. All right. I don't know. I'll have to do it this way because otherwise I lose the a-pawn and for no reason at all. I hope this is... I doubt this is a fortress, but this was probably a little overreaction there. But I also am a kind of a sucker for all things fortressy. I don't know, maybe I could get this bishop there, question mark. Or maybe... Maybe. So that's a bit of a pain point there. Go here, the rook is defended. But this is, of course, a little bit dodgy. Maybe a5 was better, but I assume I'm gonna run into trouble here in the eventuality. Should I play this here? Why not? The rook is kind of stuck guarding two idiots now, though. Is this a thing? Sack that. Go here. I don't know. Well, you lose, you lose. What can you do? Losing is fun, right? If he goes there, I probably should come back though. This is of course risky, giving him that a-pawn passer. Don't know, he's probably make some room on that side. Also, he can probably just defend the stinking pawn to begin with. Yeah. Okay, I'll stick the bishop to this square because that looks good. And I don't know, I'll put the rook there somewhere, and even though it looks scary, It does look scary. Okay, now things that start to interest me is that how fortressy are some sack thingies there. Probably not very fortressy. 4 versus 3 and the rook versus queen. Unlikely to be a fortress. All right. Well, that does take a little bit. I don't know, but I'm gonna do it. Maybe h6. I'm trying to build some kind of a fortress here. I have a check here and go here and win a pawn, right? I guess the queen here is gonna hit both in a bit of an unpleasant way. Here. Well, I don't know, h6 does not probably ruin anything. I don't know how this goes forward without some problems here. And it's still not like it's not going past this point, hopefully. Okay. That seems risky as it gets. Gives me a free pawn here with check. Well, I'm definitely interested. I'll just come back here. Seems solid. Defends this. And we are still here. I can always go spam this check here and I don't know what else. Also, can I go here? Let's do it this way. Not sure this is smart or at all, but how does he go past this point? I don't know. I'm gonna give him that check. Come back to defend this. Let's say that. Now move. Oh, that is definitely hitting my rook. I'll give him a check and say, are you really willing to give up that? Probably should not. So keeping an eye on here. It was not going forward either way, but at some point we could probably sack here too, and if I win this pawn, for instance, I could have maybe gone there and this is not going anywhere anyways, but of course I cannot ever put my rook into here, for instance, because his jack goes here and promotes, so I have to be very careful I don't accidentally let it slip through. All right. Well, let's give me some checks and remind them of the acts of life, which are hard to actually tell which they are, but that is not threatening to go through. I might be able to snipe, sack, come rook here, but I'd rather have a rook here and f6, and then I do feel it's a better fortress of sorts. I'm gonna keep this construct. Feels more sturdy than the other one. Feels more sturdy than the other one. Okay. Does this hurt me in any way? Gives him some checks, so I have to be a little careful and drop the rook. But I don't know. Somehow he's gonna try to squeeze there. Or, I don't know, he gets there. Let's repeat if we can. And say, how do you go past this point? Let's not make it easy and give him a check and somehow let him sneak through there. Because here I can always check and he has no approach this way. I mean, I'm not 100% sure sacking here, and even if I could get the rook here and this setup like the king cut off with the rook here, that is definitely this. Is that holdable? It's probably is, but okay, repetition. Was that needed? I don't know, but it was an interesting try though. Apparently, computer shows that it is all draws all the way there. Okay, so let's look at from the top. We play turn on the book. Master database, so symmetrical English. Copy. Then I deviate with actually the most played move here. Castles. Mine has been played 257 times, the knight h6. The most popular is to go to a, I call this the botwinic setup in English. Lichess does not. But Lichess opening names are a bit random. This was the where I was kind of going for, but then I got distracted by this because I do like this knight maneuver a lot. And then they played the most played move here, Max Shane, Carlsen, Krachev, Sasikiran, Rakmanov, Vanvelu, Navra, Pabula, Anderson, off. Nice. Wonder wheel. So takes only move. Otherwise it's a pawn sack. I assumed like taking here. Well, yeah, of course you cannot. I mean, maybe you could take it here and then take here. But then I can always take this pawn and then this here and looks fine. I have to, there is some problems with this guy though, definitely. Because castles drops the pawn, so, and there is pressure here, keeping this a bit awkward. So, how does Mr. Machine evaluate this? Because I feel like there's so many problems that this is like equal, probably. Dead equal. Yeah, we have an extra pawn, but it's not easy to hold. And if I have to castle and drop it, then suddenly things turn into a bad, because that's a dodgy pawn. I guess we have the bishop there, so maybe something, but... Or even queen here, and... Well, something, but of course we should probably try to hang on to it a little better. So maybe that was also possible. That's good. Good. Fine, but maybe not the best success, Mr. Everything is like almost equal. Just wants to go back here and say nothing. Yeah, yeah. I did this kind of like earlier. I was looking at that. If they go there, I can take and force him to take this way and not get this nicer pawn structure. But I did not. When he did, I did this too fast and did not consider that both things are hanging and I have to play b6, which is a bit ugly because my queen is then kind of harder to activate. So maybe slight side mistake. Computer says no, who cares? But if I would have seen that both are attacked, I might have not taken and just done something else. Fine, 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 fine. This is annoying though. But computer says dead equal. Yeah, I wanted to play this, but this and then problems. So knight rook goes here first. Well, of course I could just sit here and wait without weakening this, but I wanted to do something. Because I felt I have also some play on this, like a battery is not dangerous. Fine, and then he blunders with rook d3. And that then we have, this was the best move, taking advantage of the pin. He goes there, I chop, and now he has a weak pawn. But then I play queen c6 too fast. I somehow thought that maybe I could go here and then like here. And if they take here, I'll take theirs. But then this happens and now suddenly bing bang and bong. Everything's gone to that bad. Am I lost? I feel like I'm lost now without somebody's gonna die, right? Is computer agreeing? Computer is agreeing. So this was a bit inaccurate square for the queen. So I went back here to defend it, yeah. Alright, so what should have we done instead though? Queen c6, queen a6. This is covered. This is attacked 3 times. It's going to die. Yep. Knight b5. Can I take here? Question mark. Why not? We're covering even this twice. Yeah. Alright, so stupid may be necessary because otherwise awkward. Kick the knight away. But now it's equal again. A5 turned it from slight black advantage to slight white advantage. I don't know, maybe. Yeah. Because here it's awkward instantly. I was thinking this, but then take and maybe doable, but it's a painful endgame to hold with the extra pawn for white there. Yikes. So I decided that this looks like a possible fortress. I'm not sure it is. I'm not sure I trust computers' evaluations of these positions at all, because computers suck at fortresses. Or maybe they don't. Alright, so that was a mistake. I kind of felt like it was probably a mistake. So I decided to give this up, but that's a big, huge boo-boo. They should have just gone queen d3. And maybe something just like keep my piece is passive because this is so crappy setup. I mean, it's sturdy, but it's not sturdy enough. And I feel like the right winning idea is some kind of you push the pawns. Maybe push the pawns. Maybe push the pawns. And make a threats against the king. And then it's harder to hold on to everything together while defending this idiot here. So, yeah, something like that, probably. But now I get this here, but also this is more important. Like I get the bishop here, where it's doing the counter-attacking, but also it's 30 square, where it's keeping an eye on this guy here. And maybe still some chances, but yeah, well, it's hard. Can't really push the pawns without getting checked a lot or dropping something somewhere. But I assume these are not at all close to a fortress. None of these, because... No, let's see. Yeah, at least computer says no. And I did not really believe in these. It's a little too clumsy. A little too clumsy. Not threatening anything yet, but like... It picks me a weakness somewhere. What is g4, g5 a mistake? No, even that is fine. Now there is always painful check somewhere here. And you can always somehow... Well, I lack good squares at some point, I think. Well, let's see how a computer would defend this. I'm just gonna see. Oh, well, that's annoying because it gives up so easily. You dummy. Don't give up so easily. Queen d6. Oh, and then this comes the problem is that now I drop these or allow the fork, so we can't go there. If I go b5, queen e7, maybe a waiting move, because now I can't again go to back rank, go here. Any of these squares drop somebody. And if I go to a dark squares, then it's gonna check and then I'm gonna drop this or that. Wherever I go, horrible. Yeah, not enough safe squares. And one weakness too many. Like if this was not here. If this was not here, I guess it's not still a fortress. I was thinking that if I had a rook here, assume something, king runs around and sack eventually and queen to a rook. What I'm meaning is like, I don't know if I could set it up, but maybe at like, well, let's randomly assume that the rook would not die. Which I don't know if that's the case because it kind of dies here, but let's assume white does not take here, but let's me set up this. But I think anything. You run the king around somewhere close where you're close to or you can transpose to a pawn endgame eventually where you sack on this guy. I don't know if you need to, but like because black definitely lacks some good squares. But something like even this instant this moment is already enough that you force the win here, and usually these are the ideas in such situations to win those. Right moment you sack and turn it into a winning pawn endgame. So I didn't really think any of those were fortresses. I was kind of curious if I somehow would win a pawn and have a like a rook somewhere here. Would that hold? Like, of course I cannot take because that promotes, but something like here, and then white did something stupid here and let me move the rook here for free. But even this seems a bit dodgy, but somehow like, okay, sorry, the queen is hanging all the time. Let's play f6 first so we don't let anything horrible happen. But I was a little worried about something even like this. This is maybe a fortressy, maybe. This looks a bit tempting, but computer says no. Again, unnecessary move, but I guess he gets in by pushing me with some kind of mate threat here and gets the king in, and that's that. I can't keep it closed, and if there is this, then I have to take, and if I don't, then he pushes through, and again I think I'll drop these pawns. Yeah, it's not even close to holding. I didn't really think so either. Maybe that one case where I could have bought both pawns and this one, and then somehow maybe it holds enough that there is no breakthrough and we just sit here and wait. Alright, this is a draw. If I don't do anything stupid. Here I was really curious about maybe taking and letting this happen, or taking here and taking here would be enough though. Like just here. This. Then if I somehow manage to set this up without, and being able to set it up like somehow like this. Or even better would of course be somehow like check and here and have the king cut here in this corner. Yeah, maybe. What does Mr. Machine say about this? I feel like it's still not fortress. It is a fortress. Now there is no breakthrough. Oh, you wanna put it there and there. Okay, I see. You'll let that go and cool beans. Or take this one. And this is a fortress now. Well, yeah, I can buy that one for $1. Alright, but well, this is... So I didn't see how he gets through if I just wait in this. Because I don't want to like give at some point like give a check here and let him sneak in. Then it gets very iffy if the king runs somewhere to. Well, probably not there, but like even to attack this guy here. But if I just stand here, and if he attacks the rook, I'll take the pawn, of course. So yeah, and here there is no way in because I'll check and then come back to keep this. Yeah. So this is a more dynamic fortress, better one. And the bishop was gold. Bishop was gold. Anyways, interesting game. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Ciao.